Hello everyone. So today we are going to take chapter 3, that is playing with numbers, from class 6th, and inside this we will discuss the topic factors. The question is, what are factors and what are multiples? What is the basic difference between them? So to understand factors, I'll just give you one basic definition first and then show you one example. Factors are what we can multiply to get the number. Sounds a little difficult to understand, isn't it? So, we'll take one example to make it more clear. Beforehand, let us just see what are multiples. Multiples are what we get after multiplying the number by any whole number. So, can you see the difference? In the first line, we have written what we can multiply. And in the next, we are taking what we get. So, to make it more clear, you have to understand this. What you can multiply and what you get as a result will lead you to factors and multiples. Suppose we take one example. Now if I multiply 5 and 4, the result is 20. So if I take the number 20, the factors will be 5 and 4 because these are two numbers which we can multiply to get 20, isn't it? Now talking about multiples, what we get after multiplying the number. Suppose I take a number 5 and I multiply it by any number, that is 4, and the result is 20. So 20 becomes the multiple of 5 and 5 and 4 becomes the factor of 20. We'll discuss more about it. Let us first go to see it more clearly. Basically, factors are the number which divide the given number exactly without leaving any remainder. Let us see this example again. I am telling you that 5 and 4 are the factors of 20. Now how will you clarify this with the given definition that says that factors are numbers which divide the given number. Here the given number is 20 and I am telling you factors are 4 and 5 and they will divide the number exactly without leaving any remainders. So check again. Is 20 perfectly divisible by 5? Of course, when you divide 20 into 5 parts, you have 4 groups that are forming. Similarly, when you divide 20 by 4, there are 5 groups that are forming, isn't it? So it is dividing it exactly and leaving no remainder. So suppose we want to check. I have a circumstances where I have to check, is 4 a factor of 9? So how will you check this? The first condition is that you can check by dividing 9 by 4. If it is perfectly divisible, then the answer is yes, and if it is not, then the answer is no. Let us take a very practical situation to make out what are we exactly doing when we are finding the factors. We'll take a condition where the 9 students are told to make a group in such a way that no one is left out. They have to decide how many students are there in one particular group, but the only condition is that they have 9 students and nobody should be left out. So in this case, let's see what they can do. Here there are 9 students. The first arrangement that they can go for is all 9 students will be in one group. So they have one group with all 9 students. Second arrangement is that in one group there can be 3 students. then another group with 3 students, then another group with 3 students, and no one is left out. All the 9 students are there, but the number of groups are different. There are 3 groups. The condition, remember the condition, ma'am has said that nobody should be left out. Look at the third arrangement where all the 9 students thought that we will not collaborate with each other, we will try to have one single group. So what they did is, they all stand alone and they said to their teacher that I am my own group. So how many groups they have formed? 9. Now apart from this, when they wanted to move in a different fashion, so they wanted to make a group with 4 students. Let us see what happened. 4 of them were there in one group. Then again 4 of them were there in one group. But see, one was left out and he is out of the group. So it is not satisfying the rule what ma'am has said. And here comes the concept of factors, isn't it? So 9 together in one arrangement is not leaving any remainder, and it is the factor of 9. 3 in one group. So there are 3 groups, but nobody is left out. So second arrangement also satisfies the condition. So here we can say, yes, 3 is also a factor of 9. Now here in third arrangement, they all were standing alone and there were 9 groups forming. But yes, 1 is also a factor of 9, isn't it? Because they can make a group where there is only 1 student. Nobody is left out. They all are there with one single. But see, you have to keep in mind that nobody should be left out. Where they went for 4 together, they were able to make 2 groups, but 1 was left out. And this is not the condition which is satisfying what teacher has said, and this is what is factor. I am not able to make exact group where the number of students are equal when I divide it by 4. So here comes the conclusion that 4 is not the factor of 9. So this is how we have to look into the concept of factors. I hope it might be quite clear to you now. Let us see some very important point that is to be kept in mind when you talk about factors. 1 is always a factor for every number. We have already seen a condition where the students were alone, single. They made a group by standing alone. So that is why we say that 1 is a factor of every number. Every factor of a number is exact divisor of that number. Check again. When you divide 9 by 9, absolutely divisible. You are left out with 1. When you divide 9 by 3, there are 3 groups. Nobody is left out. So exactly divisible. And 9 divided by 1, 9 groups were forming, but nothing was left. Okay, nothing was left out. So the condition second, that every factor of a number is an exact divisor of that number, is again coming out to be true. Now very important point, that every number is a factor of itself, isn't it? All the students in the first arrangement, they decided to go for one group where all 9 of them were together. So in this case we can say that the number itself is also the factor of given number. Now one thing that we came to know is every factor is less than or equal to the given number, and number of factors for any given number are always finite. The point is, what are finite? Finite means that there is a limited number of anything. You can count them. Finite means you can count them. They are countable. Suppose we take one example where I am going to find the factors of 36. The first thing is that we will look for the numbers which exactly divides 36, divide 36 and leaves nothing as remainder. So either you can follow the method like you start from 1, start dividing it and checking, then go for 2, 3, 4, then you will come across that 5 is not dividing 36 exactly. isn't it? So this is also one method. And the other method is you can move like this, where you'll first see that what numbers when multiplied together gives 36 as output, isn't it? So we'll come to see 1 into 36 is 36, 2 into 18 is 36, 3 into 12 is 36. So this way, when you come across all this set, see those numbers which are multiplied, okay, together, they becomes the factor. So 1 is factor, 36 is also a factor, 2 is a factor, 18 is a factor, 3 is a factor, 12 is a factor, 4 is a factor, 9 is a factor. Automatically you will come to know that 36 cannot be the result when you multiply any whole number by 5, isn't it? And similarly 6 into 6, the last condition to get 36. As such, one important point that we have observed is every factor is less than or equal to the given number. Is it coming out to be true? Check here. 36 equal to. The next is 1, 2, 18, 12, 3, 4, 9 and 6. All of them are less than 36. So the condition satisfies, and it is mandatory for you to check if you are getting any answer which is beyond the given number. That means you have committed some error. So finally the answer comes out to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 9, 12, 18 and 36. You can count the number of factors, isn't it? So we say factors are finite. That means countable. Again, one more example where the factors of 12 has been shown to you. So students, I think I have made factors very clear to you. You can go ahead with the exercise questions given in the textbook. You can follow any of the book, Maths NCERT Exemplar or NCERT, or you can go for any other textbook that is available with you. In my next video, I am going to teach you more about prime numbers and composite numbers. So please watch my next video also. Thank you.